Peter Hearty from Hearty Law. In this video, I'm going to discuss a question I often receive. I've just ended a long common law relationship. Am I entitled to half of my spouse's pension? Broadly speaking, married couples and common law couples in Ontario are treated the same. One area where there's a significant difference is property rights. So the Family Law Act provides a detailed scheme for dividing property upon dissolution of a marriage. It tells you for the most part, and yes there are some exceptions, but for the most part, married couples will leave a marriage with about half of the assets of the marriage. Common law couples do not have those same rights. The law does not recognize common law couples specific to property. Why is this important? Well, because if one person is accumulating property in their name throughout your common law relationship, you may not be entitled to half of that upon dissolution of your relationship. The one area where this is pretty significant is pensions. It's shocking for the most part the value of public pensions or pensions for government workers. The value of those pensions can quickly rise into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. So if you have no other assets in the marriage, but one person has a pension, that's a significant difference. You could be talking a difference of $500,000 or more. Houses, pensions typically are the most valuable assets in a relationship. And a pension is something you don't think about until you get closer to retirement. Pensions are something that you need to learn a little bit more about, and pensions is for the most part the most commonly asked question I get from common law couples going through a dissolution of their relationship. So what does all of this mean? Let's look at an example. Alice and Bob. Let's say Alice and Bob both work for the federal government. Let's say that they get married. And at the date of marriage, they're both engaged in high-paying jobs. Alice decides to leave the federal government and look after the children in the home for a period of 20 years. Bob's pension continues to grow, balloon during that time. The marriage breaks down 20 years later. Well, according to property law in Ontario, the breakdown of that marriage, Alice is automatically entitled to half of the value. Not necessarily half the value of the pension, but half of the value of all of the assets held in the marriage. Let's take a look at that same situation, Alice and Bob. Everything is the same with one minor exception. They don't actually get married. They're still in the same house together. They still have the same children. Everything else is the same. Let's say they rent their house, so there's no other real assets they have from the marriage. They go on a lot of vacations. That's where all of their money's gone. So at the end of the relationship, a common law relationship, the only asset that is there is Bob's pension. Say Bob's going to work for another 10, 15 years until he can retire. Alice leaves the relationship with nothing. May not seem fair. Bob may be leaving the relationship with $1 million in his pension. But the only reason Bob was able to get that pension was because of Alice's dedication to the home and to the children. So, but for Alice's contributions, Bob would not have that pension. May seem inherently unfair. Potentially it is. It's not an easy situation. But the point here is the law doesn't automatically equalize that benefit, that pension, that asset. So the takeaway here is there is a significant difference between common law couples and married couples. Pensions are significant assets. So be aware of what your rights and obligations are, the breakdown of your relationship, be it a married couple or be it a common law relationship. Pensions are not easy to deal with, and they have significant value. If you're going through a divorce or a breakdown of your common law relationship and there's a pension involved, get some legal advice from an experienced lawyer, especially in relation to your pension issues. Contact Hearty Law today for a free, no obligation virtual consultation.